Hello people, how are you doing? It's C.J Atemo and welcome to Wisdom Moments on K24 with me, the Sage. I hope that you're coming along very well. Everything is good. I hope that your day is coming good as well. Well, today is actually a holiday, right? But we're not on holiday right here on Wisdom Moments. Every day, Monday to Friday, 9:55 a.m., we are on air on K24. If you miss out on that, you can always get the episodes on my YouTube channel, CJ Atemo. And if you would set notifications there after subscribing to the channel, if you set notifications there, you will get to know when we post and upload our videos as well. And this is what I would encourage you to do, because then I would love you to also watch, like, post a comment and share the videos with your friends, family, fraternity, with everybody that you can. Because this week we've been talking about the battles that men face. Everybody, or rather people, that's a general term when you talk about everybody, it's not scientific, but people talk about how men are going through things. Men are talking about how men are going through things. No matter which way you turn, you will find that in various conversations. You will get that the rates of depression are higher, suicide rates are high, there's a lot of violence out over there, and the question is, what's going on with our men? Interestingly, even as we talk about the battles that men face, we always also do indicate that most of these men were not raised by men. One of the things that I would not understand is then how men that were raised by women become violent towards women. I don't understand that. How men that were generally raised by women and raised with women around them, their sisters, their neighbors who were ladies, why they would become violent towards women. And so you see, this goes out there to you, all you men who are out there. Don't use anything as an excuse for you to be violent against any woman. The battles that you face have nothing to do with that woman that you want to beat up, fight, strangle, or do anything to. You can always seek help. You can always call on other men. You can always go to other men. You can always find somebody. Either you will find a coach, or you can find a counselor. You can find a therapist. You can find a religious leader. Just find somebody and talk to them, a lawyer, a friend, a mentor, an older person. Just find somebody and talk to them if you're going through some of the battles that we're talking about. But please just stay off the element of going to get violent. Well, we've talked about the battle the battle of identity. We talked about the battle of acceptance and significance. Today is going to be a very different twist, because every man faces this battle. It's the moral battle. Every man faces this battle. It's the moral battle. The battle for fidelity, that the man needs to stay especially true to one woman. It's a battle that every man will face. Why? Because men are generally visual, and every single day they see a lot of things. They see a lot of people, and in their interaction with those people, when they begin to feel significant, when they begin to have a good sense of identity, and they feel accepted and they feel significant. Remember, at the very beginning when I talked about identity, I talked about position, power, performance, and I talked about possession as well as some of the things that men identify themselves with. So if they begin to have a sense of significance, then they begin to position themselves right over there. And sometimes this is actually what gives them the leverage, that they have good position. So they've got great possession as well. So if somebody is a manager, if somebody is a team leader, if they're in a certain place, they may begin to have a sense of significance coming from the position that they have. They may be having a bit more money, and it gives them a little bit more options. If they're not very disciplined, then that money can become a trap to them as well. See, most men men don't have to fight to be attractive, because they just need to perform. The attractiveness of men is in their purpose, it's in their passion, it's in the power. Ever wondered why Ladies will be around the television screen to watch men that they have never met, and they will be fantasizing about men whose names they cannot even pronounce, just because they give this sense of power and a sense of purpose. Well, because that's very attractive. So for a man, he doesn't have to have a television face, He can have what me and some of my friends we would call a radio face. That means that it doesn't have to be visible, it doesn't have to be seen. He can have a very, what you'd think is an ordinary face, but they're very attractive because of their purpose, sense of purpose, their passion towards their dreams, and the power that they release in doing that. Now, when you begin to grow as a man, options begin to open up. You become more attractive when you find your purpose. You become more attractive when you're passionate, because there's not too many men out there who have defined their purpose and who are passionate about what they're doing. When you hear women say there are no men nowadays, they're not saying that the male population has diminished. They're not saying that the male population is getting extinct. No, they're looking at the men around them. They don't see the sense of purpose. They don't see the sense of passion. They don't see the sense of power. If the men around them are always whining and looking weak and looking helpless and always want to be felt pity on, then they will be saying they are no men, because men are not supposed to really be pitied. Well, they can be helped and assisted whenever they have certain issues going on, but they do not draw attraction value by being pitied. It comes by them having a sense of power. So anytime a man looks weak or he doesn't have a sense of purpose, then he loses his attractive ability. Now, any man who has a sense of purpose and power and passion becomes very attractive, which then puts that man in a particular space where he has to have his boundaries in order not to go overboard. He has to have his boundaries. See, it is very difficult for men to say no, because men are not generally taught to say no. We teach girls from a young age on how to behave when they are approached by men. We teach them about the sanctity of their bodies and the sacredness of their bodies. We teach them about how not everybody needs to see them in a certain state, that people shouldn't touch them. We teach them about keeping themselves. We teach them about the consequences of them going out. We generally don't do this with the men. So men don't grow up thinking that they need to keep themselves. They don't grow up thinking that there's any consequence of him going out over there. So he might go to a woman the same way he goes to a restaurant to meet a need. And once he is done, then he goes away. When he's hungry again, he comes back. It's a battle that men face. Some of them will never talk about that. They may not admit it. It's a battle that they face. When they get into spaces where they feel that they've got options, well, they can easily get led by those options, just because it's a real battle for men to stay in the place of morality. Well, if that's your battle, find help, talk to somebody about it, and get yourself up and going towards your purpose. This is C.J Atemo, and this has been Wisdom Moments on K24.